For more on the summit, we can cross to the Ethiopian capital and speak to France 24's Mark Perlman. Mark, let's start with that debate over Israel's observer status. It sounds like leaders essentially decided that the best decision was no decision.
Yes, basically that's a good way to say things because this debate has been raging for days here. Many people lamented that instead of addressing the issues of the pandemic, of poverty, of development, of wars, of terrorism, of coups, there's a lot of time spent on this issue of the observer status of Israel. It was granted several months ago by the president of the Commission of the African Union, Moussa Faki. This is his prerogative. However, this prompted fierce opposition from two heavyweights at the African Union, South Africa, and Algeria. And the heads of state and government debated and decided to appoint a 7-country committee to give a report at the next summit and eventually make that decision. So this means that Israel's observer status is not implemented. It has not been revoked like the Palestinians who came here to ask for that wanted and were backed by Algeria especially. However, this is essentially, as you said, kicking the can down the road.
And Mark, you mentioned another big topic for African leaders is how to address those recent military coups. What kind of options are being discussed?
Well, many, but there's no agreement. It's true that a record number of states were suspended at this year's summit, for Sudan, Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso. And there is this concern that disrespect for democracy is spreading on the continent, and that there is a kind of trend, and that this needs to be stopped. So some are advocating fierce sanctions. Others are saying, no, we need to mediate, we need to make sure we escort, if I may use the word, the military out of power and usher in smooth transitions. But as we've seen in the case of Mali, sometimes the military simply decide to stay on. And yes, there is a lot of concern. However, there's no common response. Obviously, each country is different, but the African Union will be called upon to really provide a coherent response to this threat, not only to democracy, but according to many people I spoke to the development and to the economies of the continent.
All right, Mark Perlman, thank you very much for that update on the African Union Summit in Ethiopia.